What's up, family? Welcome back to another YouTube video. It's your boy Jonathan. If you're new here and if you're already subscribed, appreciate y'all support and joining the community. This video is going to be an impromptu sit down, heart to heart conversation as we head into a new season of our lives and of this year 2023. I wanted to sit down and talk with you guys to prepare for what's to come, not only on this channel but in life. And recently I've been very reflective and in a very introspective state of mind, thinking about what I've accomplished so far in the year, different habits, routines, and what routines, habits, and goals I want to implement or accomplish towards the end of this year. And one of the things that popped up in my head was thinking about overwhelmness, or the feeling of being overwhelmed. And all of us at some point or currently in life are experiencing feeling overwhelmed. And when I think about feeling overwhelmed, I think about chewing more than you can, or biting more than you can chew, something like that. But it's more of being so overwhelmed by the task at hand because there's no focus on how to start or what to do. And for me personally, an example is when I was in college, I had a lot of things going for me. I'm the type of person that I can multitask very well, but sometimes I put my hand in a lot of things and then I'm taking a lot of things into my plate that it becomes overwhelming at one point or a certain point during the time. But there's one thing that I've learned that during college, I think that's where I sort of realized of this, that everything eventually is gonna be okay. I think we want everything to be perfect. We want everything to be smooth. We don't want to have any sort of struggle along the way because our mind wants us to be comfortable. Not having things certain, not having control creates a level of uncomfort within ourselves that turns and then shapes into the feeling of being overwhelmed. And for me, during college, there were instances where I'm not gonna lie, all of us have done it. I've procrastinated in doing assignments, projects, and leaving it to the last minute, and then I'm overwhelmed because I have a project, I have two assignments, I have to study for a quiz and exam. All in all, I've always realized that it's always going to be okay. Might not be your best performance as far as an exam. It might not be your best day at your job, at school, in your personal life, but everything is going to be okay. And that's something that in college I started to get in my head a lot. And obviously, even growing up before that in high school, I always had the mentality of all that happens, the good, the not so good, it's a part of the process. It's teaching me something that I need to know about myself in order to level up and get to that next level as a person. And throughout the course of my life, there's been instances where I felt overwhelmed. And one thing I've realized is during that time, you completely forget about where you are. You completely forget about the task at hand. You just think about everything in the macro. You're like, oh, I gotta submit this project. Oh, I got 2 assignments, 2 projects, this and that. I wanna have a social life. I wanna do my own thing. And it's too much. But if we delegate and prioritize, which is something that I've started to learn over the past 2 years, prioritizing what for you it's important in your life. That could be your health, that could be your job, that could be your school and your education, that could be your family. You gotta write down on a list what are your priorities and then allocate them accordingly. There was a point in college where I was president of a student organization. I was working part-time in my apartment complex. I was a student ambassador for our theater department, and I had 21 credits, all of them within the same time. And it got to a point where it became overwhelming for me to handle all of those. It was just too many things, some of which I didn't feel the passion to invest my time in. And I had to go through a arduous, very hard awakening and sit down with myself after, thinking about it and having to talk with people about it and reflecting on what is a priority in my life and what things I have control of, what things I don't have control of. And then from there, I just started prioritizing, all right, what's important for me? What are my top priorities out of the things that I have? What are my top priorities? The last one on the list maybe it's something that I should drop so that way I can focus more of my time and energy on the top priorities. And that's something that I've acquired through college and now into my professional and personal life post-college that I think is going to be useful for each and every single one of you, because life is fast-paced. Every day, something new. Every day, a new obstacle, a new opportunity arises. And because we want things to go always in our way because of our ego, when those situations arise where you are faced with an obstacle or multiple obstacles at the same time, some of which you may have control, some of which you may not have control, it's good to prioritize or sit down and think about what are the priorities or what's important, and then assess whether you have control or not have control. And I think that'll put your mind at ease in reducing the amount of feeling overwhelmed. Because if you feel overwhelmed, it's like a hamster wheel. Like you're a hamster in a wheel and you're going to continuously run. But if you step to the side, you get out of that running into the, still in the cage, but you get what I'm saying. Like sometimes if you're overwhelmed, you're actively not doing anything because there's a lot of things at hand that you just think about. Oh, I got all these things to do, one for tomorrow, one for this, one for that, that you just don't realize, all right, if I sit down and I put my energy and focus on what's important for now, and I get that done, and then I move into the other one. And as you move into from priority to priority, you'll gain confidence, you'll gain energy, you'll feel good about accomplishing things. That's why it's always good to write things down. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm very visual. I like to write things down, task, to-dos, so that way once I do them, I mark them off, and I feel, all right, I already did that, now I have those next 3 to do. And that way, from those on the list, I circle the ones that I think are top priority, either because they're urgent for either today, tomorrow, or as far as time, or the ones that I want to prioritize personally and do them first, and then go from there. I think that's important for you to have and to be able to delegate your time and energy accordingly, because not only we're talking about things that you want to do, but there's also things that you don't want to do that you have to. Paying bills, changing the oil in your car, tires, groceries, other bills that might arise, medical expenses, flights if you're going to visit your family, vacations, trips, or I don't know. You want to buy yourself some clothing for the fall season. You want to get ready for the holidays, get a costume for Halloween. All these things. It's good to sit down and prioritize. And once you sit down and break things down, that's why it's important to write things down so that you can visually see them and acknowledge them and see, all right, what out of all these things I can do right now, or what are the things that it might take me a couple days to get to, so that way it's easier for you. And the reason that I thought about this is because lately I've been wanting to get this space more homey, more cozy, get this space in a position where I feel creative, I feel, at peace, and I've done so far. I got a TV stand, I got a couch, my standing desk with the chair, and slowly but surely I need to get a rug, a coffee table, which those are my priorities towards the end of the year. So we're talking about priorities in a more practical way. For me personally, what priorities do I have right now? So for the month of October, now that we're talking about transitioning from the summer to the fall, summer, I did really well. I enjoyed my time. Taylor Swift, concerts, Drake concert. My family came to visit to Minnesota. A lot of great things, a lot of work too. It wasn't too much on YouTube, but now I've been back on the YouTube grind, and this past month of September I was able to stay consistent with it, and that's what I want to continue to roll into the month of October, and staying consistent, posting 2 to 3 videos a week for you guys, so that way I can get back into the habit and the confidence of posting videos that I think will be valuable for you guys to have. So that's a priority for me for the month of October. 2 to 3 videos a week. Another thing that it's a priority for me that it's important for all of us to have is health and wellness. And that entails nutrition, that entails exercising, that entails, taking care of your mental and spiritual health, by reading books, watching maybe some comedy shows or something, reading the Bible, reading the Quran, whatever religion you may practice, reading the book, doing your devotionals, reading, journaling, meditating, praying, anything that can get your being in sync and you can be spiritually aligned with something higher than yourself, because we tend to be so much in our heads, then that's when we start getting overwhelmed because we want to control everything instead of letting things flow, letting things go, and accepting that as long as you put your energy and your best foot forward, things eventually are going to come and turn your way. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be in a week, it might not be in a month, but eventually if you have a great attitude and constantly practice the habits that you want to implement, the routines, and also stay consistent, eventually your time will come. And that's one thing that I want to do. Focus on prioritizing YouTube, 2 to 3 videos a week, which now that I'm saying it, you guys can hold me accountable. 2 to 3 videos a week for the month of October. I want you guys to keep me accountable on that one on here in the comment section of the videos or my community tab. That's priority number 1, with 1B, which will be health and exercising more. I decided to start doing 5 days a week so that I can get back into the habit of just going to the gym and getting my body moving, just because most of my day is sitting down at a desk or moving around at the office, and I need some movement in my body because our bodies are made to move, and standing or sitting down for long periods of time is gonna alter our physiology. So I think that's something that I want to prioritize: exercising more, eating better. And with eating better, that means not eating out a lot, because I'm gonna be honest, your boy's been eating out a lot, and not like going out, but ordering lunch for work. Whenever I lack or I slack in meal prepping, I order food for lunch. I order sometimes food for dinner, and those add up. $20 here, $30 here, $20, and at the end of the day, you end up spending more money than if you would have meal prepped or done groceries, and would have saved you a lot of money. So that's one of my priorities this month, is to save money by not eating out a lot. Maybe every now and then, yes, but not as often as I've been doing over the past few months, which I've noticed a pattern based on my budget spreadsheet that I track every single month with my expenses, incomes, and everything. So to give you guys a rundown, 2 to 3 videos a week for YouTube, health awareness, so focusing more on exercising 5 times a day, 5 times, not a day, 5 times a week. Better nutrition, which means eating better, not eating out, saving money with eating out and meal prepping and doing groceries. The third one is making the space more me, more of my personality. It's taking shape slowly but surely, as you guys will see. I think I'm doing a pretty decent job of creating an environment that feels cozy. I do have LED lights that I'm gonna be putting here, so that way I'm not using much of this warm light right here, because I wanna create a nice, chill and vibey environment, especially as we get into the winter season where it tends to get cold outside, and because it's cold outside, our attitudes and our energies change. So I wanna step into my apartment and have LED lights, have a rug, which I mentioned to you guys. A rug and a coffee table are my priorities towards the end of the year, because I think that'll make the entire living room look like an actual apartment. And that's, I think, one of the priorities that I have for the end of the month. But yes, making the apartment more homey, more welcoming for myself and for people if I ever had friends over or guests over. So those are sort of my priorities for the month of October. Another one will also be, getting creative with taking time for myself and investing it accordingly, either by creating YouTube videos. There's a lot of cool things that I'm going to be implementing on the channel that you guys will notice over the course of the next couple of months, couple of videos. But I'm really excited to take this channel to the next level and each video get better and improve on. And if there's things that you guys notice, either on the sound quality or the image or the video quality, let me know. And I'm constantly wanting to improve and learn. I think it's good to have an outside perspective or opinion on the videos and what type of content I'm doing, so that I can continue to get better to help you guys as well. So those are kind of my priorities for the month of October. I'm mentally preparing myself It's already October. For the rest of the month, those are my priorities. I already wrote them down, and I already started buying things for the apartment to make it more, you know, cozy, homey, peaceful, warming, welcoming, creative, inspiring, because it's something that I've always wanted to do, and I've never had put them as a priority because there's been a lot of other priorities at hand. But now I have the time, I have the energy, and I have the focus to be able to create that, so that I can continue to be creative, continue to be myself, and continue to share that with you guys on this channel, which I'm extremely passionate about. Honestly, I've been over the past few days thinking about different videos that I want to create now that we're heading into the fall season, things that I want to, practice and get better at with filming. One thing that I will say though is for the next video that you guys see of me, I will give you guys a brief idea, or I will actually not a brief idea. I'm gonna give you guys an insight of how my apartment is looking, and if you guys have any tips, any advice for how to make it more warm, welcoming. I do want to get a rug and a coffee table. I think that'll make the living room nice, but stay tuned for that video towards the end of this week, so that way you guys can give me some advice, because I think I'm on a pretty good roll. But it's always good to have an outside perspective so that you guys can see the growth, not only of the channel, but also of this apartment, of my life, of me as a person. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. It's something that came in my mind over the past few days, and I think it was important for me to talk about, because a lot of us, as the seasons change, we change with the seasons, and if we don't acknowledge it, that change could either help us improve or help us get stuck. So once you acknowledge the problem or acknowledge that it happens, I think you can start practicing better habits, better routines. I think for me, taking care of myself, it's the most important priority, I would say, besides YouTube and mentioning that YouTube is at the top with 2 to 3 videos a week. I think it's more important for all of us to take care of ourselves as we get into this new season of our life. We're getting closer to the end of the year, so as we get closer to the end of the year, we tend to reflect on how much we've accomplished or what things we haven't accomplished, that we forget to appreciate that we had another year of life, of beauty, of friendships, relationship, memories, and experience that we can take for the rest of our lives. And I think that's something that we shouldn't take for granted, because it's not guaranteed. It's something that every single day I appreciate, and not only with this channel, but at work, with the people I come across when I work, the people I come across on the street, on the grocery store, on Target, or here at my building. I've always respected, I've always seen life from a different lens, understanding that there's a lot of things that are not going to last forever, and the only thing that we're there, I don't think it's even guaranteed, but the only thing that we can hold on to is right now, this moment, the present moment. The past is already in the past. We can't change it, but we can learn from it so it doesn't repeat itself, and we don't have any control, or we don't have the future right now. But the steps that we implement, the habits that we implement, the practical lessons, steps, and experiences we learn right now are going to help and shape the life that we live, hopefully tomorrow, if God or whoever you look up to, whatever higher power you look up to, gives us the opportunity to open our eyes tomorrow and do this thing all over again, so that we can continue to get better. So hope you guys enjoy this video. I just wanted to get that out of my chest. I'm gonna continuously do more videos like this about different topics, because I honestly, in all truthness, whenever I'm by myself late at night, walking or going anywhere, or going to the gym, or just being by myself, or even with friends, I reflect a lot about different topics, different situations, and today was that feeling of being overwhelmed that I think a lot of us carry and don't understand where it stems from. So it's important for us to understand that that feeling of being overwhelmed is because we don't have practical steps or to-dos to be able to allocate or distribute your time accordingly based on priority and focus. But if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, based on everything that I've said, and if you're feeling overwhelmed in your personal life, at work, just first take a step back and acknowledge the fact that you're alive, the fact that you may have a roof over your head, that you may have food on your table, water, that you may have a family, you may have friends, and even if you don't have any of that, you have you and you have me. And I believe in you, and I know you believe in me. The belief is going to take you places, but you also got to implement practical steps and habits in order to be able to live the life that you know that you want to live. So I appreciate y'all for taking the moment to watch this video. Hope you guys took some valuable lessons, valuable advice from this video. I'm no expert, but at only 25, there's a lot of things I've learned in my work life, personal life, in college, from friends, from colleagues, from watching YouTube, from watching interviews, podcasts, that I think is valuable for me to share with other people through my lens. So that way we can start conversations, and with conversations that helps with improving ourselves and also improving the relationships we have with other people. Yeah, that was a lot, but you got this. Remember that you got this. It's gonna be okay. I mentioned it at the beginning. You may have a lot right now, and if you're in college, if you just graduated college and don't know what to do, don't have a job lined up, or if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, if you're in your 80s and you're feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start, just do one thing. Stay present. Acknowledge the present moment and go from there. Take one step in front of the other, and then you'll see how far you're gonna walk if you focus on just taking one step at a time. So I appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoy this video. Stay tuned for more videos in the month of October. I told y'all, I don't know if you forgot already, 2 to 3 videos per week in the month of October. So I hope you subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate y'all. If you're not subscribed and you don't want to subscribe, hey, I wish you all the best. And I definitely, hopefully, a video comes across in the future where you can see me and get inspired by my content and myself. So appreciate y'all, my subscribers. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.